Okay, so Friday we had a nice rally. Let me mute this tick strike for a second. We had a nice rally on equities on Friday, and we moved on 48 points on the RTH, on the regular trading hours. And usually when you have a move like this, that is a trending day, we tend to balance the next day and tend to retest the previous day's halfback. So halfback for ES for today is 51.25 and a quarter, I'm sorry, which is very close to February high, which is a swing high, right? So we made a high on February, we pulled back a little bit, and then we broke above it. So this whole area, we have yesterday's halfback, we have February high, and we have the weekly pivot, which I always look at. This should be strong support. So in my opinion, we're gonna attempt to test this, and if this doesn't hold, then we're gonna come back into the 5100s. But initially I'm looking for this 5130 to hold initially, and then if it doesn't, then test this area, and if it doesn't, then I'm gonna target 5104, 5100. And then we're gonna be trading in the lower distribution. So I'm gonna pull up this chart with the larger time frame so you can see what I'm talking about. So if we lose this area, then, and we're gonna have to go through this, that's not gonna be easy, because I think this is gonna support initially, but if we get below this low volume area of 5112, then I'm gonna be looking for all this distribution to be retested and target this high volume area for 5100, and then attempt to go to this lower area 5075-ish. But I think this should hold. It should hold. That doesn't mean that it will, but it should hold. We should see buyers defend this. So we need some strong sellers to take this back here. Now, could be that because all this buying was done on the last day of the month, on the first day of the month, which happens because there's a lot of flows, and institutions and market makers are forced to buy this. It could be that we see a bigger pullback into this area and then come back to the scene of the crime at 50.65. That's the other scenario, right? And now that I'm seeing that we're pulling back a little more, I'm thinking that it could be because everybody's so bullish right now that, you know, we're being conditioned to buy every dip. So it could be a possibility that we come back and retest this whole distribution. And this is stronger support, and if we lose it, then we're gonna be trading in this distribution, and we're gonna retest the 20-day moving average at 50.48, 50.45, and we had this big volume area 50.43 that we've been talking about for a while. But right now value is up here, so we still have all this to go through before we get into this. NQ, it's in a very similar situation as and the move up was done in what it looks like very poor structure, meaning that we left 4 sets of single prints. so far the first set seems to be holding, and if it holds, then we're, you know, the 5-day point of control is up here, 18,340. And remember I said that if you double this range, like whenever you have a range that you're trading at, if you take it and double that, then according to my numbers, if I did the math correctly, we should see this 18,469 as a target. Again, retesting yesterday's half, and this area should hold. If it doesn't, then we're gonna go here to the 20-day point of control at 18,015. Okay, hope that makes sense. Now crude oil, oh, by the way, I mentioned it on the chat, but I didn't mention it yet here, which is the fact that we're gonna start rolling over the contract, so be mindful of that. We have 2 weeks left in this contract, and we start seeing some rollover action this week, but most of it is going to happen next week, so be aware of that, because volume is going to be split between the front month and the back month. Now oil, broke above the range that we had been trading, and I had been talking about the 80-20 for a while. We got there, we picked above it, and we came back to it. So now this level again is acting as a magnet. You can see the big delta level here, 80-20, is still there. So there's still some big players at these levels. I'm looking at 79 now for support. If we lose 79, then we'll get to this high volume area at between 78.50 and 77.60. All this, there's a lot of positions here. But if we hold 79, I'm looking. So again, right, we had this range, you double. I haven't done the math yet, but 81 is what should be the top of this new range, around there. So I'm gonna see if we can establish some value up here and trade in between 79 and 81 for a while, or if we are gonna keep moving higher and look for this 82 area. You can see this some high delta that was previously support, then broke, so now it should be resistance at 81.92 ish. Okay, I hope that's it. So for today, and on ES, I'm gonna be looking for initially, like I said, holding this area. The close from Friday is up here, 51.46, which, because it's a weekly settlement, it has more weight, so I'm expecting that to be retested. So keep an eye on that level, which coincides with the overnight high, and that's about it. All right, good luck.